Hi, and welcome back to another episode. Not long ago, France made headlines by banning the iPhone 12 from sale, citing excessive radiation levels. That sounds scary, right? After all, smartphones are in our hands and near our heads all day. So the big question arises: how can a device like this, one that passes through numerous regulatory checks, be deemed unsafe after it's already on the market? And that brings us to a broader concern. Can your phone really harm your health? Many people worry about radiation, often linking it to cancer. But radiation isn't as black and white as it seems. In this episode, we'll dive into what smartphone radiation actually is, how much our devices emit, if it's dangerous, and why the iPhone 12 ended up in hot water. Let's start by breaking down the basics. Radiation is simply energy that travels through space or matter. It can come in waves or particles. Believe it or not, radiation is all around us. It's in the air, our food, and even inside our own bodies. Bananas emit radiation. So does your body. So the term radiation doesn't automatically mean danger. When we talk about smartphone radiation, we're referring to electromagnetic radiation. This is the same kind of radiation emitted by the sun, Wi-Fi routers, and even your TV remote. It's not the same as the dangerous particle radiation from radioactive materials. To measure radiation exposure, scientists use a unit called watts per kilogram. Watts per kilogram. This tells us how much energy is absorbed by body tissue. The internationally accepted safety limit for mobile phones is 4 watts per kilogram. That means any phone on the market should emit radiation below this threshold. But how dangerous is that really? Let's get a bit more technical. Smartphones emit radio frequency, RF radiation, typically between 1 and 3 gigahertz, GHz. These waves are considered non-ionizing. They don't carry enough energy to break apart atoms or damage DNA. Dangerous radiation, like UV rays, X-rays, or gamma rays, is called ionizing radiation. This kind can cause cancer by damaging cells and altering genetic material. But radio waves, they're far weaker. In fact, they're less energetic than visible light. So while your microwave might use similar frequencies, the key difference is power output. A microwave can pump out over 1,000 watts. Your phone? Milliwatts, thousands of times less. So, if the radiation is so weak, why do people worry? Well, some studies have raised concerns. A Swedish study found a statistical link between early mobile phone use and increased brain tumor risk. The risk appeared to grow with years of use. That said, most studies show no such link. One large international study involving researchers from 13 countries looked at brain and neck tumors. The result? No consistent evidence that mobile phone use increases cancer risk. A few analyses did suggest a slight increase in risk for heavy users, but even these were labeled inconclusive due to factors like recall bias and uncertain exposure levels. Children's exposure was also studied, and again, no clear link was found between phone use and cancer development. So why the inconsistency? Studying the effects of phone radiation on humans is tough. People may not accurately remember how often or how long they use their phones. Plus, those who develop tumors might be more motivated to join studies, creating participation bias. Other issues include assumptions used in calculations, not accounting for heat effects, or researchers knowing whether someone was exposed or not, potentially skewing results. Despite these challenges, the overall trend in the scientific community leans toward minimal or no health risks from smartphones. And if you're wondering what government bodies have to say, the FDA, CDC, and FCC All agree there's no solid evidence that mobile phones cause cancer. They continue to uphold current safety limits. Great question. The iPhone 12's radiation level came in at 5.74 watts per kilogram, above the 4 watts per kilogram limit. But don't panic just yet. According to Professor Rodney Croft from the University of Wollongong, this level is far below anything that would cause harm. He explained that 5.74 watts per kilogram might result in a local temperature increase of less than 1 degree Celsius, well within normal body fluctuations throughout the day. In other words, the phone's emissions might be higher than the set limit, but not dangerously so. France's decision to ban the iPhone 12 was, at its core, a regulatory principle. Apple exceeded the safe limit, and there were consequences. Apple has since promised a software update to bring the radiation level back within accepted bounds. So, should you worry about using your phone? Well, based on the best scientific data available today, the answer is probably not. There's no consistent or conclusive evidence that regular mobile phone use leads to harmful health effects, especially not cancer. However, the topic still makes people uneasy, and that's understandable. Radiation, even the word itself, has been linked in our minds to danger, illness, and even catastrophe. But it's important to separate fact from fear. The kind of radiation emitted by smartphones is non-ionizing, which means it doesn't have enough energy to damage DNA or cells in the way that X-rays or gamma rays do. It's much closer to the radiation emitted by your Wi-Fi router or even visible light. Still, it makes sense to be mindful. Just because something is unlikely to cause harm doesn't mean we shouldn't use it with a little caution. Simple habits can go a long way. Use speakerphone or earbuds for long calls. Avoid pressing your phone directly to your head for extended periods, and try not to sleep with it right under your pillow. These precautions are easy to follow and can give you peace of mind without changing your lifestyle. Radiation is a nuanced and complex subject, and public concern is valid. But with the right context and understanding, much of that concern can be addressed with logic and data. As technology continues to evolve, so will our understanding of its long-term effects. For now, though, the overwhelming consensus among researchers, health agencies, and regulatory bodies is that mobile phones, when used within safety limits, pose little to no threat to human health. So don't panic. Stay aware, stay informed, and stay curious. That's it from me. Thanks for spending your time with me today. I'll see you again in the next episode. Take care, and cheers, guys.